What's up, everybody? It's your boy Passion9, the Drunk Otaku, and I just saw Sony's State of Play today. And you know what? I gotta say, I walked away pretty satisfied this time. They showed some things I really liked, and some things I wish I didn't see, to be completely honest with you. Some things I wished were not coming out, but we'll get to that. It kicked off with it kicked off with a really boring Helldivers preview, or whatever the hell that game is. But then, when the show properly kicked off, we got finally a new look at Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade, Korean action game being made by a new up-and-coming studio called Shift Up. I thought this game was vaporware. We haven't heard about this game in so freaking long. We've heard about it for a while, and then it kind of went silent for a while. And I didn't even know it was going to be coming out this year, let alone in April. Otherwise, it would have been in my top most anticipated games list when I made that video, because honestly, Stellar Blade looks awesome. I mean, now, mind you, there's no guarantee this game's going to be great, because it's from an entirely new studio that hasn't made any other games. This is their first game. And it's a very ambitious project. Obviously, when it comes to big, ambitious games like this, a lot can go wrong, especially from a studio that's never made any games before. This is going to be their first big thing. It'll either put them on the map or they'll be forgotten. But it looks really good. Like, there's so much potential here. It looks, obviously, a lot of people are making comparisons to Nier Automata, but it looks considerably bigger, more ambitious. Like, it looks like it's trying a lot. And that might worry me a little bit because, again, I don't know what this studio is capable of, but damn, it looks good. Like, the visuals, the world, it looks really, really good. Like, the combat looks fluid and crazy and fun. Big, crazy looking enemies to fight. The main character is sexy as fuck, so obviously that matters a great deal to me, has my attention. Looks like she has a ton of different outfits to unlock and cool stuff like that. Those are all things that, I like to see in a game. So it looks really good. I don't know if it's going to be as good as it looks, but I have, I like what I see. I like what I see. So they have my attention. And it's coming out in April, so I won't have to wait much longer to find out if it is good. It is another Sony exclusive. There's a lot of Sony exclusives coming out this year, and for once, I actually am interested in most of them, so that's something. It looks like it'll take advantage of the hardware. It looks very beautiful. So yeah, Stellar Blade looks good. Kicked off the show really well. I'm excited for that. Very excited for that. Stellar Blade. Please be good. Oh, Silent Hill. Oh boy. Well, first off, they showed a game called, I don't even know if it's really a game. Who knows? It's another free-to-play thing like Silent Hill Ascension. Only this seems to be ripping off like PT. It's a PT-style short game that's free-to-play today. You can actually play it today for free. Download it and just play it. I'm guessing it's like an hour or two long or something, and that's probably the main reason. Yeah, I've heard a bit of leaks and rumors about this game before it even was announced today. Silent Hill, The Short Message, it's called. And I did take a peek at some people streaming it after the fact, and it already just... The story looks underwhelming as fuck. Doesn't look like it has a subtle bone in its body. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be that much actual gameplay. It's very much a PT-style thing, but obviously, I'm not going to give it the praise that PT had, because PT was actually really clever and interesting, and it just looks like another half-assed idea to me. Yeah, not much to say about that one. It's just, whatever. It's a free-to-play, another thing they're just throwing out there that doesn't look very interesting, or but either mechanically or narratively, so whatever. And then they showed off some gameplay footage finally, of Silent Hill 2 Remake. Not that I was anticipating that at all. I was dreading it. I was almost secretly hoping, even though I knew wasn't going to happen, that this game would like get canceled, or Blooper Team would just like, I don't know, fail to put it out. But that's not going to happen. They may be a sucky development team, but they're not going to fail to put it out or complete the game. So they showed off some gameplay footage, and yeah, it looks bad. It looks really bad. Not to people who've never played Silent Hill 2, or especially people who don't care about Silent Hill as a franchise, they just want a new horror game to play. Pete, there are a lot of people who are going to see this gameplay footage of Silent Hill 2 Remake and they're going to be like, oh, this looks awesome, this looks sick. Yeah, because they basically turned it into Resident Evil 4. It's got an over-the-shoulder camera system, just like Resident Evil, just like the modern Resident Evil games. And half the trailer, and I mean 90% of this trailer, was just James Sunderland blasting away at monsters with a shotgun. That's like 90% of this trailer is just footage of blasting monsters away, which is not what Silent Hill is about, especially Silent Hill 2, which was the most subtle and most action-free game in the series. Like, why would you focus so much on combat? Like, combat was never the focus or the selling point of Silent Hill 2, and they make it like, they really do make this trailer look like it's just a spooky action game. And that's not what Silent Hill 2 is. This isn't House of the Dead. And it just looks awful. It looks awful. I mean, I'm sure the story stuff is not going to be handled well either, but at the very least, they could focus more on that, because that's what Silent Hill 2 is really about. The story is very important. The atmosphere is very important. That's the stuff that really matters the most in Silent Hill 2, that you have to nail, that you have to get right. And instead, they just showed a ton of action. And it's like, oh, this looks awful. This just looks awful. Man. I'm surprised Pyramid Head didn't show up at any point in the trailer. That was a surprise, considering how much they're probably going to whore him around in this game and have him show up all the time, or, they're going to ruin everything in this game. I don't know. Maybe it'll just look good to you because it looks like they're ripping off Resident Evil 4 again. Like, it's just, that's not what Silent Hill is about. But whatever. Still not excited for this. Still not looking forward to it. Didn't give two shits about this trailer. So moving on. Best of all, though. Best of all. We got new footage of Death Stranding 2. Yes, Kojima. Kojima dropped a massive bomb by showing us more Death Stranding 2 footage. And I'm not going to try to describe it all here, because you're better off just watching the fucking trailer. It's a lot to take in, and it would be a lot to try and describe. I don't know how you would describe the shit that happens in that trailer. But all I will say is, man, Kojima is at the peak of his freaking career, man. Not only is he making this game, and not only does it look fantastic, it looks like everything you could want from his sequel to Death Stranding, which I loved. I know it was a very polarizing game, but I thought it was freaking phenomenal. I thought it was one of Kojima's best games in a long time. And yeah, Death Stranding 2 looks incredible. It looks big, it looks ambitious. It looks like it has all the crazy creativity that Kojima is known for. But on top of that, he's still working on Overdose for Xbox. And get this, he's coming back to stealth espionage with a third game that apparently is going to be a spiritual successor to Metal Gear. And apparently the game has a weird title. It's called Physant, or Physant. I don't know how you pronounce the name, but that's what it's called. And we didn't see any footage of that. It's probably very early in development, but yeah, he's working on that. He's announced that after Death Stranding 2, he is going to go back to stealth espionage and make another Metal Gear style game. So not only do we get all this new original shit that Kojima's never done before, but he'll also be going back to what he's done for years under a new title. So that's cool. That's pretty dope. I can't wait to see what a modern Metal Gear style game would look like from Kojima these days, especially now that he has more freedom than ever without Konami breathing down his neck. So, yeah, good times. Good times. This was a good show. Really good show. I'm excited. 2024 is looking good, man. 2024. Unfortunately, Death Stranding 2 doesn't come out till 2025, but, you know, Kojima is the it's done when it's done kind of game developer. You know, he's putting the love into it, so it's worth waiting for. But exciting times, exciting times. Live for the passion.